And we're joined now by Jason Rohr, the Ludmilla F, Stephen J, and Robert T. Galla College Professor and Biology Department Chair. Jason, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Thank you for having me.
Now, one of your primary areas of research is fighting against disease while also addressing some of the big problems the world faces, like food, water, and energy shortages. Tell us briefly about this work.
Sure. So approximately 1.5 billion people on the planet are infected with worms that can actually be cleared from humans with inexpensive drugs. And in addition to that, part of every calorie that a worm-infected person eats is stolen by these worms or is used to combat these worms. Thus, humanity is literally converting natural area to agriculture to feed these worm parasites. So what we are doing is calculating the health benefits and the food and ecosystem service savings by using these drugs to eliminate worm infections globally. Our preliminary calculation suggests that the food savings might be enough to eliminate global hunger. And then another project that we're working on focuses on a worm that is transmitted from snails to humans and causes the disease Schistosomiasis. The snails are found in submerged freshwater vegetation, so we're removing the vegetation and the snails to reduce the disease. And then to provide an incentive to sustain the vegetation removal, we have demonstrated that the vegetation can be converted to compost or used as livestock feed to increase food production as well as profit for the farmers. And I think you have a video clip on this latter project that you were planning on showing.
Yes, we do. Your lab, as you said, has been working with Developing World on a project undertaking those issues and a focus on fighting against that disease, schistosomiasis, and we have a short video that explains that work.
More than 200,000 people are killed every year by schistosomiasis, a disease that lives in the waterways of developing countries. Today, 200 million people are infected, and over 700 million more are at risk. Treatment is unavailable to most of them, and even then, it's a short-term solution. Snails that transmit this disease live in freshwater vegetation that chokes out water access points. The snails release thousands of parasites which enter human hosts through contact with water. Removing the vegetation reduces disease rates among children while increasing open water access for villagers. This has resulted in a 103-fold reduction in snails. We map water access points with drones and satellite images to identify where the vegetation grows. This can facilitate the scaling up of our public health action by targeting schistosomiasis hotspots for ministries of health. We are testing the cost-effectiveness of using harvested vegetation as compost, livestock feed, or fuel for biodigesters that provide gas for cooking and electricity production. The compost has significantly increased crop yields. Villagers are taught methods to sustain this process, meaning this solution has the potential to address water, energy, and food issues, and save lives well into the future.
Now, Jason, what are some of the outcomes you're working toward with this project?
Yeah, we're working toward reducing schistosomiasis, especially in children, since it's a disease that predominantly hits children since adults become immune. And then we're also working with farmers and these villagers to increase their food production and energy production in a sustainable manner, meaning in a manner that does not have adverse effects on the environment. And so we're making great progress. We still have a lot of work to be done, but we're excited about this particular project.
With the novel coronavirus on everyone's mind, do you see an increase in zoonotic diseases becoming an even greater public health issue in the future? And what might cause those diseases to rise?
I unfortunately do see this becoming a bigger problem in the future for several reasons. First and foremost, globalization, meaning that we're moving people and products around the planet at a higher rate than we ever have in the past. And so we are likely to be introducing diseases where they have not been previously. In addition to that, there are an expected 11 billion people on the planet by 2100. That human population growth is likely to cause a scenario where there are greater interactions between humans and wildlife that may be the source of emerging diseases. In addition to that, it'll also cause more interactions among humans. and that can facilitate directly transmitted diseases like COVID. So I think we need to begin thinking about ways to mitigate the risk of emerging infectious diseases, given that it's likely to become a big problem in the future.
Yeah, very interesting, especially right now when we deal with coronavirus. Jason, thank you so much for joining us on this Notre Dame Day.